My Aunt Patricia's words hit like a slap across the crowded dining room. Every conversation stopped. 23 pairs of eyes turned toward me. The annual Morrison family reunion had just turned into my public execution. I stood there holding a plate of potato salad. My hands started shaking. This wasn't how today was supposed to go. My name is Jessica Rivera. I'm 34 years old. For the past 12 years, I've worked as a senior accountant at Henderson & Associates. I balance books, I follow rules, I show up early and stay late. My coworkers trust me with their tax returns. My boss trusts me with client confidentialities. Trust matters to me. Maybe too much. I moved back to Portland 3 years ago to be closer to family. Mom died when I was 16. Dad passed 5 years later. My aunts Patricia and Linda became my surrogate mothers. They helped me through college. They celebrated my graduation. They were my emergency contacts. I thought they loved me. "What are you talking about?" I managed to whisper. Patricia's lips curled into a cruel smile. She was 58 with perfectly styled gray hair and a designer dress that cost more than my monthly rent. Linda stood beside her, nodding like a bobblehead. They looked like vultures circling prey. "Don't play innocent," Patricia continued. "We know what you did." The room felt like it was spinning. My teenage cousins had their phones out, recording. Uncle Robert looked uncomfortable but said nothing. Great Aunt Dorothy clutched her pearls. "I honestly don't know what you mean." Linda finally spoke up. Her voice was ice cold. "The money, Jessica. We know you stole it." My blood turned to concrete in my veins. What money? What were they talking about? I'd never stolen anything in my life. I returned extra change at grocery stores. I once drove across town to return a wallet I found in a parking lot. "I never stole any money," I said louder. Patricia pulled out her phone. She swiped to a screenshot of a bank statement. Even from 6 feet away, I could see my name on it. "Explain this, then." The statement showed a deposit of $15,000 into an account with my name on it. The transaction was dated 2 weeks ago. I'd never seen this account before in my life. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe properly. "That's not my account," I stammered. "Really?" Linda's eyebrows shot up. "Because it has your social security number, your address, your signature on the opening documents." She produced a manila folder from her purse. Inside were bank forms with my forged signature. The handwriting looked close but not quite right. Someone had practiced copying my name. The room started murmuring. Whispers spread like wildfire. She always seemed sketchy. I never trusted her. Poor Patricia and Linda. My own family was turning against me in real time. These people had known me since I was born. They'd watched me grow up. They knew my character, or I thought they did. "Where did this money supposedly come from?" I asked. Patricia's eyes narrowed. "From Dad's estate fund, the one Linda and I managed together." My grandfather had passed 18 months ago. He'd left a substantial inheritance to be managed by his 2 eldest daughters. The money was supposed to support various family members through emergencies and educational expenses. "I never touched that fund," I said firmly. "I never even asked for help from it." "The evidence says otherwise," Linda replied. She pulled out more documents. Transfer orders, withdrawal slips, all bearing forged versions of my signature. Someone had been very busy creating a paper trail. But something felt wrong about this whole confrontation. Why announce this publicly? Why not call me privately first? Why turn it into a family spectacle? Unless that was the point. I looked around the room at my relatives' faces. Some looked shocked. Others looked disgusted. A few looked almost satisfied. "You planned this," I realized out loud. Patricia's mask slipped for just a second. I caught a flash of panic in her eyes before she recovered. "We planned to confront a thief, yes. No, you planned to humiliate me. You could have called me. You could have asked me privately. Instead, you waited for the biggest family gathering of the year." The room went quiet again. Some relatives looked thoughtful now. Maybe they were starting to question the theatrics, too. But it was too late. The damage was spreading like spilled wine on white carpet. My phone buzzed. A text from my cousin Michael. "Jess, is this really true?" Then another from my cousin Amy. "I can't believe you'd do this to the aunts." Word was already traveling beyond this room. Social media would be next. Then my workplace. Then everyone I knew. My entire reputation was crumbling in real time. "I need to see these documents properly," I said. "Why? So you can destroy the evidence?" Patricia shot back. "So I can prove they're fake." Linda laughed harshly. "Everything's fake except what we caught you doing." I pulled out my own phone and opened my banking app. "Look at my actual accounts. I'll show you every transaction from the past 6 months." "We're not interested in your other accounts," Patricia said quickly. "We're talking about the theft account." Too quickly. She shut that down too fast. My mind started racing. I'd spent 12 years analyzing financial documents. I knew how to spot irregularities. I knew how to trace money trails. And I was starting to see the pattern. "Who discovered this supposed theft?" I asked. "I did," Linda answered. "During our monthly audit of the estate fund." "When exactly?" She hesitated. "Last week?" "Which day?" "I don't remember exactly." "You discovered $15,000 missing and don't remember which day?" Patricia jumped in. "She doesn't have to answer your interrogation." But I was gaining momentum now. My professional instincts were kicking in. "How long has money been missing?" "We're not sure," Linda admitted. "You're not sure? Don't you reconcile the accounts monthly?" Silence. "Don't you have oversight procedures?" More silence. "Who else has access to the estate fund?" "Just Patricia and me," Linda said. "No third-party oversight? No external auditing? No checks and balances?" The questions were making them uncomfortable. I could see it in their body language. Patricia kept shifting her weight. Linda was avoiding eye contact. "This isn't a courtroom," Patricia snapped. "We don't have to justify our management to a thief." But the seed of doubt was planted. I could see it on some relatives' faces. Uncle Robert was frowning now. Cousin Jennifer looked confused. My phone buzzed again. This time it was a call from my boss, Mr. Henderson. My stomach dropped. Word was already reaching my workplace. "I have to take this," I said. "Jessica?" Mr. Henderson's voice was tense. "I just received a very disturbing phone call about you." "From who?" "Someone claiming to be your aunt. She said you've been arrested for embezzlement." I closed my eyes. "I haven't been arrested, and I haven't embezzled anything." She seemed very convinced, very detailed. She mentioned specific amounts and dates. Patricia had called my workplace. She was actively destroying my career. "Mr. Henderson, I promise you this is a misunderstanding. Someone is setting me up." "I hope so, Jessica. Because if there's any truth to this, we'll have to suspend you immediately. We can't have clients questioning our integrity." The line went dead. I looked up to find Patricia watching me with satisfaction. She'd heard every word. "Trouble at work?" she asked sweetly. "You called my boss." "I called several people. The community has a right to know when someone is stealing from family." My knees went weak. She wasn't just destroying my family relationships, she was destroying my entire life. "Why are you doing this to me?" "We're not doing anything to you. We're protecting the family from you." But I caught something in her tone, a defensiveness that went beyond righteous anger. "Show me the estate fund records," I demanded. "Absolutely not. If I really stole from it, the records would prove your case. We don't have to prove anything to you." "You do if you want to press charges." Patricia and Linda exchanged a look, quick but telling. "We haven't decided about charges yet," Linda said. "Why not? If you have clear evidence of theft, why wouldn't you call the police?" Another exchange of looks. "We're trying to handle this within the family first," Patricia said. "By destroying my reputation publicly? By giving you a chance to confess and make restitution." There it was. They wanted something from me. This wasn't about justice. This was about leverage. What do you really want? I asked. We want our money back. What money? I never took any money. $15,000, plus interest, plus damages for the emotional distress you've caused. I stared at them. You want me to pay you $15,000 that I never stole? We want you to return what you took. And if I don't? Patricia's smile turned predatory. Then we file a police report. We press charges. We make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. The threat was crystal clear. Pay them $15,000 or have my life completely destroyed. But something still didn't add up. If they really had evidence of theft, they wouldn't need to extort me. They could just prosecute me and recover the money legally. Unless they couldn't prosecute me. Unless there was no theft to prosecute. My phone rang again. This time it was my landlord. Jessica, I just got a call saying you're involved in some kind of financial crime. I wanted to scream. How many people had Patricia contacted? It's not true, Mr. Walsh. Someone is spreading false information about me. I hope so, because I can't have tenants with criminal records. It's a liability issue. Another piece of my life crumbling. I hung up and looked around the room. Half my relatives were still staring at me. The other half were whispering among themselves. The teenagers were definitely still recording. I was trapped in a nightmare with no exit. I need time to think, I said. You have 24 hours, Patricia announced. Tomorrow night we meet again. You bring our money, or we bring the police. She turned and walked away. Linda followed. The crowd began to disperse. Within minutes, I was standing alone in the dining room. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts, calls, social media notifications. The story was spreading faster than I could contain it. I drove home in a daze. My apartment felt like a crime scene. Everything looked different now. Everything felt contaminated. I sat on my couch and tried to think clearly. Someone had forged my signature. Someone had opened a fake bank account. Someone had created elaborate false evidence. But why frame me? What did I have that anyone wanted? Then it hit me. I didn't have anything they wanted, but I might know something they needed to hide. I grabbed my laptop and started researching. Public records, estate filings, probate documents, everything related to my grandfather's inheritance. What I found made my blood run cold. According to public records, my grandfather's estate was worth $430,000, but according to the family, the fund only contained $200,000. Where did the other $230,000 go? I dug deeper. Transfer records, investment statements, bank routing numbers. The missing money had been moved to accounts controlled by Patricia and Linda. They'd been systematically stealing from the estate fund for over a year, and now they needed a scapegoat. If anyone started asking questions about the missing money, they could point to me. The fake evidence would redirect suspicion. I'd be the thief. They'd be the victims. It was actually brilliant. Except for one problem. I knew the truth now. I spent the next 18 hours building my case. Bank records, transaction histories, timeline analysis. I used every skill I'd learned in 12 years of professional accounting. By the time I was finished, I had a complete picture of their fraud scheme. Dates, amounts, account numbers, everything. I also had a plan. The next evening, I arrived at Patricia's house exactly on time. The same relatives were there, minus the teenagers. This was meant to be a more private shakedown. Do you have our money? Patricia asked immediately. I have something better, I replied. I pulled out a thick folder of documents. I have the real story of where the money went. Patricia's face went pale. Linda took a step backward. Your grandfather's estate was worth $430,000, I announced to the room, but you've only been managing $200,000. Where's the other $230,000? Silence. I'll tell you where it is. It's in private accounts controlled by Patricia and Linda. They've been stealing from the family for over a year. I spread the documents across the coffee table. bank statements, transfer records, investment portfolios, all in Patricia and Linda's names. They needed a scapegoat, someone to blame when the family eventually noticed the missing money, so they created fake evidence against me. Uncle Robert picked up one of the bank statements. His face darkened as he read. "Patricia, what is this?" It's complicated," she stammered. "It's theft," I said clearly. "They stole from all of us. Then they tried to frame me for their crime." Linda started crying. "We were going to pay it back." "When?" I demanded. "After you'd destroyed my life completely?" "We just needed some time. Patricia's husband lost his job. I had medical bills. We were desperate." "So you decided to steal from the family and frame me?" Patricia found her voice again. "You can't prove any of this." "Actually, I can." I pulled out my phone. "I've already sent copies of everything to the State Attorney General's office, Financial Crimes Division." Her face went white. "I've also sent copies to the probate court handling Grandpa's estate. They'll be conducting their own audit." Linda collapsed into a chair. "Oh God, what have we done?" "You committed fraud. You committed theft. You committed identity theft. You attempted extortion. You defamed my character. You tried to destroy my career and my relationships." The room was dead silent. Everyone was staring at Patricia and Linda like they were strangers. "But here's what's going to happen," I continued. "You're going to return every penny you stole. You're going to publicly apologize to me and to this family. You're going to contact every person you called yesterday and tell them the truth." "And if we don't?" Patricia asked weakly. "Then you go to prison, both of you, for a very long time." Uncle Robert stood up. "Patricia, Linda, I think you need to leave." "Robert, please," Patricia begged. "We're family." "Family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't frame each other. You're not acting like family." One by one, my relatives turned their backs on Patricia and Linda. The same people who'd condemned me 24 hours earlier were now showing them the door. My phone started buzzing with new messages. Apologies this time. People who'd believed the lies were now asking for forgiveness. "Jessica, I'm so sorry I doubted you. I should have known you'd never do something like this. Can you ever forgive me for not standing up for you?" It felt good, but it also felt hollow. These people had been ready to abandon me based on accusations. Their loyalty was conditional. 3 days later, Patricia and Linda made full restitution to the estate fund. They also paid me $25,000 in damages. Their public apology was published in the local newspaper. My boss called to apologize and offer me a promotion. My landlord sent flowers. Extended family members reached out to reconnect. But I'd learned something important about trust. It's not something you give away freely. It's something you earn through consistency over time. 6 months later, I moved to Seattle. New job, new city, new life. I still see some family members occasionally. The relationships are different now, more guarded, more realistic. Patricia and Linda were prosecuted despite their restitution. Patricia got 18 months, Linda got 12. Their mugshots were in the same newspaper that published their apology. Sometimes people ask me how I figured out their scheme so quickly. The truth is, it wasn't that hard. When you spend your career analyzing financial documents, fraud has a distinctive smell. But the real lesson wasn't about detecting fraud. It was about detecting character. My aunts had shown me their true selves under pressure. So had the rest of my family. Some people stood by me. Others abandoned me. A few actively participated in my destruction. I learned to tell the difference. These days, I'm more careful about trust. I don't hand it out like candy at Halloween. I make people earn it through actions, not words. My new coworkers think I'm a little reserved. My new neighbors think I'm polite but distant. They're not wrong. But the people who do earn my trust find it rock solid, because I know what real loyalty looks like now. I know what genuine character looks like. I also know what betrayal looks like. I can spot it from a mile away. Last week, I got a letter from Patricia in prison. She wanted to apologize again. She wanted to explain her desperation. She wanted me to understand her perspective. I threw the letter away without reading past the first paragraph. Some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. Some people don't deserve second chances. My grandfather used to say that family is about more than blood. It's about choosing to love and support each other through good times and bad. Patricia and Linda made their choice. My other relatives made theirs. I made mine. I chose to protect myself first. I chose to demand accountability. I chose to walk away from people who'd proven they couldn't be trusted. It was the right choice. Today marks exactly 1 year since that family reunion. I'm sitting in my Seattle apartment, looking out at the mountains. My phone is quiet. My bank account is healthy. My reputation is intact. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. There's a difference. I'm building new relationships now. Slowly, carefully, with people who prove their character through consistent actions over time. It's a smaller circle than I used to have, but it's a stronger one. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd just paid the $15,000, if I'd taken the easy way out and preserved the family peace. I'd still be trapped in a web of lies. Patricia and Linda would still be stealing. Other family members might have become their next targets. Standing up for myself saved everyone, even if they don't all realize it yet. That's the thing about doing the right thing. Sometimes it looks like the hard thing. Sometimes it looks like the cruel thing. Sometimes it makes you the villain in other people's stories. But you know the truth. And sometimes that has to be enough. My name is Jessica Rivera. I'm 35 years old. I'm a senior financial analyst at a respected firm in Seattle. I don't steal, I don't lie, I don't betray the people who trust me, and I don't let anyone destroy my life without a fight. That's a lesson my aunts learned the hard way. It's a lesson I hope I never have to teach again. But if I do, I'm ready. Trust is earned. Respect is earned. Family is earned. Everything else is just biology and wishful thinking.